What is going on with the Warriors? The NBA has been very interesting this season. We have teams like the Jazz that are first place in the West, and then we have the Warriors who aren't even 500. Currently in the standings, they are number 13, which is not exactly good company. So why is this happening? This team was the defending champions last year, and they really didn't make that many personnel changes. Is it a slump? Is Steph getting old? Is something going on that we don't know about? Well, no. In fact, everything's pretty obvious and is in the open view. Let's start off with Mike Brown, who ironically is the coach of the Kings, who they just played last night and they lost to. Now, some of you may not know this, but Mike Brown was the defensive coach for the Warriors for these past years, and he's one of the biggest reasons why their defense was really good. Some coaches really do make a difference, and if we look at this season, the Warriors on defense have been terrible. The Warriors currently have the 27th worst defensive net rating in the NBA, which is a big difference compared to last year where they had the 3rd best defensive net rating. But I don't think stats are really going to tell you the full picture. If you look at these clips, they're missing assignments. They're making stupid mistakes that they should not be making. And of course, there are a couple factors that are going to play into this, but Mike Brown is definitely one of the biggest reasons. And look, one of my points in this video is going to be about the young guys, but these mistakes aren't just being made by the young guys. This is the starting 5. These are the veterans of this team that should know better than to make these mistakes. And don't think this is just me that's saying this. Even Draymond Green himself said this.
I'll say this again. It's our defense. We have to correct our defense. Klay Thompson and Steph Curry shot 15 for 30 from 3. That right there alone is good enough for us to win a game. If nobody else hit a 3, if nobody else take a 3, that's good enough.
3 years ago, Coach Daniel made a video called "The Warriors Defense Plays Chess, Not Checkers," yet this team is playing Uno. A team that was once known for their amazing defense has done none of that this season. But I feel like there's also other factors we need to discuss that maybe could be causing these defensive problems. I don't think getting Mike Brown back is going to be an option for a while, so they're going to have to make do without him. I'm sure if they just communicate, they'd be able to be fine on defense, but oh wait, communication. Let's talk about that. Jordan Poole isn't dumb. He knows if he told the media how he really felt about Draymond not getting suspended for opening night, that they would absolutely light it up. The altercation between the two happened about a month ago, yet we all knew that in some way, shape, or form this was going to cause problems. Now, I don't think the Warriors want anything else getting out to the media, so if there are problems going inside the locker room, we're gonna have no idea, unless of course it gets leaked again. Now, earlier I mentioned personnel and I started off with Mike Brown, but we also have to remember they lost Gary Payton Jr. Sure, he wasn't a superstar, nothing like that, but he was very good on the defensive side and he made a difference in games. Even losing Otto Porter made a difference. Their defense is not good right now, and I don't see a situation where it gets any better unless these players learn how to communicate better. Now, let me be very clear about what's going on in Golden State. This at all has nothing to do with Steph Curry. See, if I were to think that the Warriors were struggling, I would have to assume that Steph Curry is just playing some of the worst basketball of his life, and of course the other guys can't make up for what Steph does, but Steph is playing amazing. This season, Steph Curry is averaging 33, 7, and 6, while also having shooting splits of 50, 40, 90. In fact, if you were to keep up this pace for the rest of the season, this would be his statistically best season in his career. In fact, I cannot tell you enough how good Steph Curry is doing, but you guys probably knew that already. Real quick, if you guys have been enjoying the video, if you guys could leave a like on this and subscribe to the channel if you're new, I'd very much appreciate it. I make about 3 to 4 NBA videos a week that are high quality and some of the best stuff you'll see on YouTube. The support on the videos have been insane lately, and I cannot thank you guys enough. Anyways, let's get back to the video. I think one of the biggest factors that isn't exactly being talked about is the fact that the Warriors are trying to force players like Wiseman and Kuminga to develop. Now, I know having your number 2 pick and then number 7 pick the following year develop shouldn't be that hard of a thing to do, right? But they haven't. Especially James Wiseman, who is someone I really want to focus on. It seems like James Wiseman is constantly being forced to make plays and be in late game situations, yet he's holding the Warriors back. When I was talking about defensive struggles earlier on in the video, he was one of the biggest contributors to that. So why is he getting so many opportunities? At first I thought maybe he's their starting center, but it's Kevon Looney who starts, and even their second string is JaMychal Green. Now of course, don't get me wrong, the depth chart in the NBA I feel like really doesn't hold as much value as like the NFL. In fact, if you looked up the Warriors depth chart on ESPN right now, you would see that Jordan Poole is not only the second string point guard, but second string shooting guard. So as you can tell, it's not exactly accurate for lineups. However, it does give you a good idea on where players stand. Wiseman is considered the third center, yet it doesn't feel like it. Now, a part of me understands why they're trying to develop Wiseman as fast as they can because, well, he was your number 2 pick. For all we knew, in 2020, the Warriors dynasty was over and they were looking towards the future, and Wiseman was supposed to be the building block of that. In fact, last season, I remember a plan where someone said something along the lines of like James Wiseman and Jonathan Kuminga and Jordan Poole being the future. After Steph and Draymond and Klay and all those guys get out of there, that new 3 is going to lead the Warriors dynasty for years to come. Yet, I don't know if that's gonna happen. Jordan Poole is a terrific player. I don't have any worries about that, but you have James Wiseman, who is an efficient player for this team and is considered a liability at times. And let's not forget about Kuminga. He hasn't been efficient either, which is so crazy that we're not holding him to the same standard considering they took him with the number 7 pick. But yeah, that makes sense. Something else we need to talk about is Klay Thompson. I feel like Klay Thompson hasn't been himself ever since the injury, but that was expected. When you go through the injuries he went through consecutive years, I feel like that's going to put wear and tear on your body and you're not going to be the same player. But here's the thing. I knew Klay Thompson was going to suffer on defense. I expected this, and I think a lot of other people did. I knew he wasn't going to be Game 6 Klay, and he was going to be this player that was going to magically make the Warriors win again. However, I didn't really care. Last season, I had all the confidence in the world in the Warriors defense, and I knew Klay Thompson, all he had to be was a catch and shoot guy. I mean, this man built a reputation as being one of the best shooters when it comes to not needing to create a shot and barely taking any dribbles. It's impressive, and it's a skill that doesn't get talked about a lot, yet I haven't seen that version of Klay Thompson, and I don't think we ever will. This season, Klay Thompson is shooting a career low 33% from 3, which sure, that's fine if you're a rookie that is underdeveloped and you need to develop a 3-point shot. I mean, come on, Russell Westbrook is shooting 34% from 3. And I'm not gonna hate on Westbrook because he's been doing his thing in LA, but this is a guy that has been known as not exactly the best 3-point shooter, even in his MVP days. But Klay Thompson is the complete opposite of that. Now, Klay himself knows that he's not the same compared to what he used to be, and Charles Barkley called him out on it. My buddy 2for1 made a video where he said this was the moment that Steve Nash got fired, and it was that moment where he got ejected and you knew something wasn't right. Of course, multiple things built up for that moment, but we knew at that exact moment that Steve Nash flipped out and looked like he was gonna kill someone, we knew it was over. And it seems like the Warriors just went through the same thing. I have never seen Steph Curry get this mad at my life. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen a player charge at a referee. That isn't Steph Curry. Sure, if it was Draymond Green, I'd be like, oh, it's just Draymond being Draymond. But even Draymond hasn't done something like that. That was an out of character technical. He doesn't do stuff like that, which just shows that the Warriors are struggling bad right now and they don't know what to do. Sure, age is a factor, but Steph Curry is playing the best basketball of his life, so we can't pin it on him. There are a lot of routes you could go with in this situation. You could say it's Mike Brown. You could say the fact that Draymond Green punched Jordan Poole and now they have to pretend like everything is okay. We could also bring up the fact that the Warriors are forcing a guy like Wiseman to develop quickly, but he's not doing well. And even Klay Thompson is a problem. Overall, there are many things going on with the Warriors, and I know it's early in the season, but this isn't just the first 3 games and I'm calling out problems. No, we're around the game 15 mark. Time is passing and the Warriors are still not fixing any of their problems. Unless they figure out what's going on, it seems like the defending champions won't even make the play-in.